Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to introduce Scott Laird with the Icon team. I'm going to let him go ahead and introduce himself and give his background and bio and what his production history has looked like. And then our topic is really how to earn trust with leads that you may not know. So these aren't your database people. These are people that are coming off signs, open houses, you're out and about, and they may not have full trust in you yet. So building instant rapport is very important. So Scott, why don't you go ahead and take the floor and introduce yourself?
So my name's Scott Laird. I'm actually with the Icon team. Started my real estate career really about 6 years ago. I've done everything from selling gym memberships to selling cars. A lot of people don't know that about me. And I think I've always just had a high level of success with sales. And part of it's for what we're talking about today, which is building trust and really looking out for people's best interests. And I think that always takes you really far. Production wise, we've only been with Keller Williams coming up on about 2 years. We did do over $1 million in commission last year. We sold over 370 homes. I think it's all awesome. I'm patting myself on the back right now. And we were actually #1 in the Houston Business Journal.
Congratulations.
That was a really cool feat. We weren't expecting that. And so, cool. That's me.
Thank you, Scott. So why don't we just go ahead and dive right in and talk about where are a lot of these leads coming from first? So can you just kind of explain that?
So we have a goal of 100 leads per month. Right now, we generate probably between 60 and 65 ad leads, somewhere in about 30 database leads. Excuse me. And then we have a really big chunk of builder leads. Builder leads to me can be leads from a sales rep. It can be leads for listings, so I can actually list properties for builders, and or just connections through that pillar of business.
Okay, and a lot of these come off. Are they just phone calls in, or can you explain how they funnel in and how they get to you a little bit?
So the ad calls actually, and a full disclosure, the ad calls mostly go to my buyer's agent right now. So online leads, ad leads, they go to the buyer's agent, and then at that point, she's being tracked, appointments, closings, that kind of stuff.
Okay, great. So you've done this for how long?
6 years.
6 years, okay. And you help train your team, right? In
Absolutely.
Scripts and dialogue. How important is scripts and dialogue for you?
I will say, because I've been selling so long, that I don't have a script. Like, I don't literally write it down, but it's super important because you have to be able to have the flexibility to be natural. And so when you're thinking about what the next question is, or what the next thought is, instead of listening, you're making a big mistake.
Absolutely. Did it just happen naturally for you? Or did it take time to build the skill that you have?
It takes time. And then also, I had a really good mentor in the gym business, which is really cool. He told me a long time ago, and I'll never forget this. If he just wanted someone who will take orders, he'll go to Jack in the Box and get an employee. So he wanted somebody who could actually create something, who could generate a service. And so we were selling 3-year memberships for $1,500 when you walk in to do a guest pass. You had to have an experience to do that, to do it legitimately.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
experience, to create that experience. Now, if we're talking to a lot more of the newer crowd of agents, so would you just kind of touch on maybe what you could see their experience being?
I would practice on people every day. Like, go to your dry cleaner and ask them for a referral. When you go to McDonald's, ask for a referral. I mean, just try it, because to me, you can't lose. We used to have a game that we'd play when I first got into real estate with my business partner. They had no business. And it's like, what is your business as a realtor? And you have to have a product. The product is listings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't have any listings, how do we get it? So literally we had a deal where we had to do 5 referrals a day. So if you didn't come back with 5 referrals a day, it added to the next day, so on and so forth. And it turned into this big contest, which we had discussed
Yeah.
before, where you got like 1,000 referrals, you're the queen, and
Yeah.
I only got like 500, so I suck. But
can we talk about this? This call is going to be a lot of role playing. That's the purpose, so that they can kind of hear the language around it. And you said go out into the community, practice on your dry cleaner, the drive through. So can we role play that real quick? What that would sound like?
Sure. Hey, Lane, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Scott Laird. I actually am in the real estate business. Do you know what that is?
Real estate business. No, what is that?
I actually help people like yourself buy and sell residential real estate. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, quick question. Have you ever bought a home before?
No.
Okay, would you like to?
Yes.
Awesome. You're already a client. And so just creating just simple dialogue gets you started, number one. So if you have no one to work with, even if she just told me,
no,
beat it.
Yeah. Get away.
Right.
Weirdo.
You're still going to get your dry cleaning. So you know what I mean?
So be okay with the fact that they're going to say no, or they could
have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because this is also an opportunity for you to build rapport. So I have a little analogy that I kept. It's called Ford. Have you ever heard this before?
Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
Yeah. And so I think you have to find a connection with someone pretty quickly. You got about a minute to do it. And so just asking about one of those topics until you find it. It can be as simple as like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a bricklayer. Oh, really? My dad used to be a bricklayer, or, whatever that is, to find that instant connection. And then you can open yourself up to what you do. You've got permission, so to speak.
If someone's having, because I can imagine what some of these agents are thinking right now. Like, I'm afraid to just go up and have that conversation.
Right.
What would you say to that?
I would say write down on a piece of paper that you will not fail 25 times before you walk up to somebody. And then you can't fail. I mean, there's no failure. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up with a name and an email and a number that you can call.
Yeah, exactly.
I promise that part.
Okay.
Because you know what? That's why when you play the referral game, that it goes from one day to the next. Because when you're down 25, down 75, and you got to make that up, and you're really holding yourself accountable, guess what happens? All of a sudden, you get good at getting referrals.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, cool. Now that I've got that information from you, can I see your phone? but
yeah. And I see that when I hang out with you, I can see that you are just like, oh, let me do this. And people just are like, okay, because you're so confident in it. And confidence is important too. So practice can equal the confidence.
Yeah, there's something that I say, and I really mean this wholeheartedly, question with intent. So don't ask a question like just half, what. Don't be like, oh, well, that's nice. No, be like, hey, how old are you? Where are you from? What kind of house are you looking for? How many bedrooms would you like? I mean, sound serious, mean it when you ask the question.
Yeah.
People tend to answer.
So mean it, which maybe just make it a statement, downswing, don't ask a question, don't upswing, don't say, do you? Instead of do you.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. So, I mean, I think I've actually even done this with you before.
Yes.
But you just go through a line of questions, and it becomes, systematic, and you're just answering. You don't even know why.
Do you want to do this so they can hear it? Are you ready for
Some of the questions get a little, dicey, but...
Let's see where this goes.
Well, hey, Lena, what's your last name?
Gretch.
Gretch? Where'd you get that from?
My parents.
What kind of, lineage is that?
German.
German?
Yes.
Do you have actually family members that you know from Germany?
Yes.
How many?
3 that I can think of.
And how old are you?
I'm 26.
Do you plan on having kids?
Yes.
What about marriage?
Yes.
What's he look like?
I don't know.
Tell me.
Tall, redhead.
Redhead? Whoa, I thought you're German and that's Irish, right?
Yep, you can mix cultures.
Okay. But did you see how that just went? Very quickly, you were disarmed and just kind of answering. And you don't really militantly do it that way.
Yeah.
But you could practice though. You could go try that with somebody and watch how it works.
Yeah, cool. Have fun.
Right, absolutely.
Have fun. And be appropriate at the same time.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, phone calls. Let's talk about that. Let's swing into the phone calls. We're playing the referral game. We're practicing. We're getting better. Now we're getting some sign calls off of a listing. Can we role play that? You're
Okay.
calling me back? Is that, or you want me to
Yeah,
call in?
we could do that. I don't know how long because I ask a lot of questions. That's
Okay.
part of my deal. So
Okay.
just stop me when you're ready.
Okay.
But I'm like, hey, Lena, this is Scott with the Icon Team. How are you?
Hi, Scott. I'm good.
I noticed that you called in about a property, Elliott's Court.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. I know a lot about that property. How can I help you?
We're just curious if there are two bedrooms on the main floor.
Okay. On that particular floor plan, there is. Let me ask you, is that all that's attracted you to this property, or?
Well, no, we love the area, and that's why we're looking, and it seems to be in the price point we're considering. And so the importance, though, is that we have a bedroom downstairs. So that's what we're really looking for.
So, Lena, how long have you been looking?
We've been looking for 90 days.
90 days, so specific. Was there like a birthday or anniversary of that?
Just from the beginning of the year. So we really decided this year we're gonna buy.
Are you from this area?
Originally, but we're coming back.
Where from?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. You're an Okie now. We can't take you back. So cool. So you've been looking for 90 days. How many homes have you actually toured, like been inside?
We've been going to open houses and just some of the new construction is because I just feel like new construction what's mainly out there. That's what we've been doing.
Okay. So have you actually been in a home where you were like, man, I really want to buy this one?
Not yet.
Not yet. So 90 days, haven't found a house. Uh, Out of curiosity, are you working with a professional?
Not yet.
Okay. Have you got someone in mind, or?
We met a few at open houses, yet no one that we just don't want to waste anyone's time, so we're calling around just to see what's available.
Yeah, that's like telling the mechanic that getting an oil change is a waste of his time. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What I just want to say about that is this is my career. It's what I do. So I'm just asking you questions because I really want to help you. So maybe we could be a good fit. Why don't we do this? What's your schedule look like this week?
Well, I work till 5, so I'm available anytime after that.
I actually have a Thursday appointment that just opened up at 4 p.m.
Okay.
And I'd love to sit down with you, go over. Is there anybody else involved in this decision?
Yes, my husband,
And what's his name?
John.
Is he a redhead?
No.
No? Okay. I was just curious. And so you and John, and I got your email, your phone number, and we're set up for Thursday. I'm so excited. And are you going to be paying cash for this house, or are you going to be getting a mortgage?
A mortgage.
Awesome. So have you already spoke to someone about that?
No, we have not.
What I'd really like to do then is I'm going to have my guys give you a call,
Okay.
and they're really, really good. And on top of it, they have to be good for me, or I'll stop sending them business. So that's a really cool feature for you.
Okay, awesome.
That was just kind of playing
Yeah,
with
yeah. Okay, good. So obviously I didn't throw any objections in that one,
Right.
and the next one I'm going to. However, I wanted to hear it all the way through. 2 questions for you. 4 p.m. instead of 5. So you switched me to go a little sooner, and I was okay with it. What prompted you to do that?
testing, testing the waters. So you got to be in the driver's seat from the get go, especially with buyers because they're so all over the map. So that was a chance to go ahead and see what we got.
Okay.
We're building rapport. You say 5, I want to push you to 4.
Okay.
I also, normally we give 2 options. I've got a 1 o'clock and a 3 o'clock, and I just shut up. We'll let you negotiate with yourself.
Okay.
Because you'll be like, well, I can't do that, but I can do Friday at like 4.
Okay.
Awesome. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, good.
Cool. Cash versus financing. Most. Uh-oh. Connection lost. Not good, not good. We're going so well.
We had a lot of technical difficulties.
Okay. Connection restored. I think we're good. If someone can type in the chat bar that they can hear me, that would be awesome. We lost connection.
Where'd we lose them at?
The cash first financing I was going to bring up. Okay, great. They hear us. All right, sorry about that. We're moving back on. So I was going to start asking another question around the cash first financing part. You wait until the very end. A lot of agents ask that pretty much right up front. So what's your thought process around that?
Now, I don't want to get too much into like gut feelings,
Yes.
but in this particular instance, we haven't built a relationship yet. So that sounds like a very get to the point kind of question.
Yep.
And that a lot of people are afraid of. So that's kind of, I made a little joke with you. I intentionally said something about the mechanic. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, that was on purpose. And so then by the end, it's just very casual. We've already got an appointment, and it's like, and notice I say cash first.
Yes.
I never assume that you can't pay cash.
Awesome.
So it's like, are you going to be paying cash or are you getting a mortgage?
Yeah.
And most people are flattered that you think you can buy, get cash.
Awesome. And you added humor, like you said, throughout the way. Is there anything else that you want to point out that you do every single time to make sure?
So, I mean, it always depends on the phone call, but I will intentionally say something off the wall. And that's just to be different.
Different and real.
Yeah, like what if you're like, say someone's on a Zillow account and they're calling 3 other people, the difference could literally be the difference.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you just got to call it out. So we were just being very plain.
Yes.
I asked if your husband had red hair. You could have went somewhere with that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Why?
Right.
Okay, so let's do another one, and I'm going to throw an objection or two in there.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Yes, can I speak with Lena, please?
This is she. How can I help you?
Hey, Lena, this is Scott with the Icon team. I am returning your request for information on the property Elliott's Court.
Oh, yeah, we're just looking right now. No need to. We're just checking out the property.
Do you guys got binoculars or like maybe a...
No.
No? So, well, I got this request for some information. What is it about the property that attracted you to it?
We live down the street, and so we're just curious about the property.
Oh, do you guys have a home that you own, or?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So are you possibly thinking of selling your property?
Well, we don't know. We're really in an early stage of making a decision.
So, out of curiosity, are you seriously thinking about moving right down the street?
Yes, we are, because our house is too small.
Too small.
Yes.
So, what's your current house look like?
Right now it's 1,800 square feet, and we're looking something more in the upper twos.
Where do you want to put the extra space? Like
bedrooms, and we'd love to kind of get rid of that dining room space and have it also in family room and a bonus room.
Like a 1.5 story, or?
It could be. It could be.
Are you talking more like a game room?
Yeah, game room.
How long have you actually been thinking about this? Not just looking on a computer, but like been tossing the idea around.
We've been watching it for about 6 months, and yet we just started acting on it about 30 days.
Okay. When you say acting, does that mean like calling people like myself or going to properties, or what does that mean?
Yeah, just checking it out, maybe stopping at an open house or two, and you're our first phone call.
Wow, that's amazing. I feel pretty special.
You should.
You're darn right I should. So let me ask you, I know you've looked at a couple homes and you've been in this process for a short period of time, but I know earlier, what was really exciting about this house other than it being larger?
Well, we love the area, so we want to stay close, and it seems to have everything we're looking for.
So I'm actually very familiar with this property. So if we were drawing a map around this, how tight would this map be? What do you want to stay in?
We want to stay within the subdivision.
Subdivision? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so have you guys actually talked to a professional yet, or am I the very first one?
Very first one.
Okay. You know what I find? Have you ever sold a house before, or is this going to be your first sale?
this will be the first sale. We've only bought. This was our first buy.
Awesome. First call, first sale.
Sounds like it.
Wow, wow. I'm actually getting excited. You know what I would really do? Because I don't know your level of, sophistication on this process, is I'd love to sit down with you and maybe talk about the plan in case we do find that house that you want to move into. So for example, do you have the ability to purchase that home when you walk into it, or do you need to sell this house first?
I would have to sit with my financial advisor, and yet I'm pretty sure we intend to sell this first before we actually close.
So I love how proactive you are, and that's the kind of people that I like to work with. So I think we should get together and maybe talk about a plan that would help you do this, because there's going to be some moving parts with it. I'm sure you have questions, right?
Yes.
Well, good. So I've got Thursday right now. I've got a 1:30 and a 3:30 available. Which one works best for you?
Um, really, I would rather do the weekends if possible.
Okay. So I do work the weekends, so just to let you know, it's only for special clients, though. So I can do a priority appointment for you, but I only have 10 o'clock available.
Okay, that works.
Okay, perfect. Phone number, email, blah, blah, blah.
Great. So, knowing that I've been converted leads as well, what's fun about this is I did the common, not being cautious, not giving up stuff, saying I'm just looking. We're really just on the brink of doing something. And yet I couldn't not answer you after a while. It was just natural to answer you. So what do you think that is? Like, how can you pinpoint that yourself?
So question with intent. So
Yep.
every question was very direct and to the point. And so it's really hard not to answer those questions. And then also I kind of kept trying to lead you down a path.
Yeah.
And you opened up holes. As soon as you answered one question, it revealed another spot, which was I live in a neighborhood. Oh,
Yeah. Do you have another house?
yeah.
So you own a house, or could you be renting? Right?
Yeah,
Is the
absolutely.
other.
You said you own the house, and then I'm like, "Were you really going to move right down the street?" You said yes, thinking it would stop me.
Yeah. And it didn't.
Right.
Nor should it.
Right.
A lot of agents tend to just stop before they even ask for the appointment, right?
Right.
And that should never. You always go for the appointment when you're on the phone call.
So the way I look at it, again, I said this earlier. This is my job. This is my career. So I'm like the doctor. So if I just let people into my office and tell them they have a cough, and I didn't really examine them, I may be missing an opportunity. So here's a lady who owns a house. That's good. That's better than 50% of the appointments you're going to have.
Yeah.
So owns a house and could be a buyer, and said the word financial planner. This is like networking, like 9,000. Because I probably want to call her financial planner, So
do you really work weekends and you're just making me feel special, or?
I really try not to. I set a schedule now, but I would. But notice I emphasize it because
Yes.
I want you to feel it. So
Yes.
we need to feel this together.
Yeah. And you don't want them to cancel. They're probably going to say, well, if this is a priority for him, then this is more important that I keep this appointment than not.
Right.
Too.
And I would not recommend to people who are new to not work the weekends.
Thank
this
you.
This is a high level deal.
Yes. By the time you've built your team and
Absolutely.
all that.
I would work a lot of weekends, build that database.
Okay, awesome. Let's kind of switch gears, because really the phone calls, they're all the same, right? You got to listen. You got to start off, engage, have fun, and truly listen and asking questions with intent. So, and that's what it is. Go for the appointment. They really don't change that much. Would you agree?
Yes. No. They get very habitual.
Yeah.
It's a routine.
And obviously the conversations change because everyone's different, and yet the goal of it doesn't change.
100% the same.
Okay. So let's go to a face-to-face conversation.
Okay.
The role playing is going to be the same, right? You're still going to ask the same questions, yet are there some key things we should know when you're actually in front of them?
So body language is super important. Just so everybody knows, a minute ago when we were talking, I was looking at a sheet of paper and writing. So physically, when we're talking, I'm going to look at you. I'm going to look in your face, and I'm going to be just as direct intentful.
Okay. Anything else?
You know, again, have fun with it. Make a joke. What you got to watch what they're doing though, and really, if the more you have in your arsenal with questions, the better you're going to be.
Okay. Practice questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. What am I missing? What should we know about building trust and rapport? Because really, I think we've kind of hit the top points of asking questions, have fun, practice.
So, really, young in sales career, and even now, you'll know when you're in rapport because it feels good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll also know when you're not because it feels uncomfortable. And I have a goal that I will not leave a situation uncomfortable. So if I'm sensing total defense, they're locked down and I just can't get them, I'm going to do everything in my bag of tricks to break that rapport, to get it. And the reason why is because that's what makes you better. So you have to have that mentality going in that you're just not going to mess this up.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
90% of what we do is mindset.
100%.
Okay. Why don't we open it up to some questions now? So we have a chat bar. Everyone's on mute, and we're going to keep it that way. And yet we have questions that you can ask in the chat bar for Scott.
We need Jeopardy music.
Yeah, right? I keep thinking, I'm like, the silence is killing me. You want to sing? You could sing.
No, I need a glass of water.
I got sunflower seeds, wine, and coffee.
Wine.
No questions. They all could be using their phone too, which then there wouldn't be a chat bar. So
it's your deal. It's your rodeo.
It is mine. Yep. Okay, well, any last helpful hints for them that we can takeaways leave with?
If it's for the newer people,
Yep.
Start the referral game immediately. No holds barred. Write it down. You have to have a name, a number, and an email. And I don't care how many you get. It's just a game. You're building a database that doesn't exist. If you're in the middle and you're just trying to figure out how to slum, start getting out and trying this stuff with people who know what they're doing. So you should be out trying to build your spear anyways, but go talk to like financial planners, accountants, and so on, and try this game of rapport and going for it. That's probably all you're missing.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. You're a busy agent or real estate consultant, business person, whatever we want to call. Guys, this is recorded, so we will be sending it out. Thank you for your time, and I will talk to you guys on the next webinar. Great.